Here are the top 5 smartphone manufacturers in India. You might be surprised by who is on the list and who is not. That's right, the biggest technology company, Apple, is missing from this chart. Can you believe it? Apple has only 3.95% market share as of December 2022. That means Apple sells only one iPhone for every 25 smartphones in India. In this video, we'll explore Apple's strategy for selling iPhones in India and the key factors that are shaping their approach. Hi everyone, welcome to Digital Report channel. Without further ado, let's get started. The iPhone is one of the most successful consumer products of all time. Despite the fact that Apple has broadened its product portfolio to include MacBook laptops, iPads, Apple Watches, AirPods, and a range of services, the iPhone still generates 52% of its revenue. Unfortunately, Apple's dominant product in North America with a 55% market share has not achieved the same success globally, particularly in emerging markets. Market is saturated in developed countries. This means most people who can afford an iPhone already have one and are not interested in frequent upgrade of the device, as the new iterations of iPhones only add marginal development. So, how can Apple increase its future sales and profits? The answer is simple. Target the developing countries where population growth rates are high and per capita income is increasing at a rapid pace. These countries offer a huge potential for Apple to expand its consumer base and market share. India is a massive market for tech companies. It has 1.4 billion consumers and just 45% of them own smartphones. That means there are millions of potential consumers who are looking for their first smartphone or want to upgrade their existing one. And the number of smartphone users is growing faster than in any other country. So, why is Apple not doing well in India? The biggest reason is its price. For example, Apple's flagship device iPhone 14 Pro Max costs around 1,40,000 rupees in India, which is roughly around $1,700. Now let's compare that to an average smartphone price in India, which is around 14,000 rupees. That means you can buy 10 average smartphones for the price of one iPhone 14 Pro Max in India. That's insane. Even the cheapest Apple model, iPhone SE, is priced at approximately 50,000 rupees, which is 3 times more than the average smartphone price. That's a lot of money for a phone that has a 4.7-inch display, a single rear camera, and an outdated design. According to a report by Counterpoint Research, Samsung is the king of the Indian smartphone market with a 20% share of the total shipments in Q4 2022. That's impressive, considering how competitive this market is. Samsung managed to beat Xiaomi, which came in second place with 18% share. The third spot went to Vivo with 18% share, followed by Oppo with 11% share. Both Vivo and Oppo are sub-brands of BBK Electronics, a Chinese company that also owns Realme and OnePlus. Realme was the 5th most popular smartphone brand in India with 8% share. Together, these 5 brands dominate more than 75% of the Indian smartphone market. One of the reasons why these Chinese brands are so successful in India is their ability to provide good quality, high-functioning smartphones at a significantly low price point with specs comparable to the iPhone. The most popular price range of smartphones in India is below $200. These Chinese manufacturers are able to offer their smartphones at highly competitive prices in this range by leveraging economies of scale, efficient supply chains, local manufacturing, online distribution channels, and aggressive marketing strategies. Another reason why these Chinese brands are winning over Indian consumers is their smart use of celebrity endorsements by Bollywood and cricket stars. These celebrities help create a positive image and an awareness for these brands among their millions of fans and followers. They also influence their purchase decisions by showcasing the features and benefits of these phones through various media platforms such as TV ads, social media posts, and events. But there are more reasons why iPhone is not very popular in India. Let me tell you some of them. Indians love to have features like dual SIM support and expandable storage on their phones. These features give them more flexibility and convenience to use multiple networks and store more data. But the iPhone does not have these features. It only has a single SIM slot and a fixed storage capacity. This makes it less appealing for many Indian users. Secondly, Indians tend to look at the specification sheet more than the user experience when they buy a phone. They want to have the best processor, more RAM, better battery life, and a camera on their phone. They don't care much about how smooth or sensitive the phone is to use. But the iPhone does not focus on specs as much as other brands do. It focuses more on delivering a seamless and user-friendly experience with its iOS software and hardware integration. This makes it harder for many Indian users to appreciate the value of the iPhone over the other phones with better specs. Another challenge Apple had in India is that it has not been able to offer iPhone users the full range of experience that many Western consumers are accustomed to. For example, Siri, Apple's voice assistant, has not been able to understand Indian accents when compared to other regions. This makes Siri less useful for Indian iPhone users. Another example is Apple Pay, Apple's mobile payment service. While Samsung Pay and Google Pay have been available in India since 2017, Apple Pay is still not supported in the country. According to Apple Insider, Apple Pay will not be launching in India anytime soon because it must comply with some strict data storage and authentication rules that are different from other markets. These are just some of the reasons why iPhone users in India feel like they are getting a second-tier user experience compared to other countries. Apple CEO Tim Cook has recently said that he is very bullish on India and that the country is a major focus and a hugely exciting market for the tech giant. He also said that Apple is putting a significant amount of energy into India through investments, retail, and online presence. One of the ways that Apple is investing in India is by manufacturing some of its iPhones in the country. This will help Apple reduce its dependency on China, where most of its phones are made right now. As you may know, China has been facing some challenges due to the trade tensions with the US and the COVID-19 pandemic. These have caused some disruptions and delays for Apple's supply chains. Apple's partner, Foxconn, which makes most of Apple's phones, has been operating in Tamil Nadu since 2017. There it makes older versions of the iPhones. But now, Foxconn has started making the latest iPhone 14 in India as well. This is a big deal because it shows that Apple trusts India to produce its newest and most advanced product. By making iPhones in India, Apple will also be able to lower its prices for the Indian consumers. Right now, Apple imports almost 90% of the products it sells in India. This means that it must pay high tariffs on imported phones, which make them more expensive than other brands. But if Apple makes more iPhones locally, it can save on these costs and pass them on to the consumers. According to JP Morgan analyst, Apple will move around 5% of its iPhone production to India this year. And by 2025, they expect that a quarter of all iPhone production will be in India. That's huge. Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here at Digital Report channel. Please consider subscribing to our channel and liking it if you found this helpful.